Hi, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Let me take my mask down so you can see me fully. Hi, Women Wednesdays. We're so glad you're here. We will be getting started in just a few moments. We are excited about being here at Railroad Square Craft House. So if you're watching and you want to join us, come on down. There's lots of space. We're spread out. It's a beautiful day, so join us, all right? We'll be starting in just a moment.
So nobody can see the audience until you turn the camera, right? And then the legs.
Right.
You know, it's fun for me, you know. It is so much fun. I know, isn't it? Do I look comfortable? See, that's so much better. But that's okay. All right.
Yeah, right. Well, we're actually live here now.
No, that would be dangerous.
All right, well, we're just waiting for Chrissy to join us, and then we'll get started.
You have to love hybrid events. There's tech, there's reality, like right here in person, and you're kind of thinking about two events going on simultaneously.
But you know what I think the good thing is? It's good practice.
We
It's
adapt.
something we all know. It's like, you know, you learn.
We adapt and do what we need to do, right? So for the audience, are you guys shy? Good. We're gonna need some energy and some questions. We want to make it fun, right?
Yes.
I liked it. I loved it. I loved it.
So we'll do like a TV cue. When we say 3, 2, 1, we need a woo.
Oh, I can. Oh, you want me to not do that, just them, or you?
No, you do that
You
too.
know, I'm a whooper,
Yeah, well,
right?
that's good.
Woo woo. That's me.
Also, share the stream on your social media platforms so everybody knows that we are live today with a hybrid event.
So Tracy, should we put on video?
So just so you guys know, here in person, you may see, oh, it did work, okay. Oh, you're fine. Feel like out here.
How many of you were able to either join us in person or virtually last week for Studio Heart at Havana?
I was in person.
Yeah, we were in person. There was quite a crowd last week.
I
Robbie
saw
was there.
that. I saw
Robbie
that.
was there.
Yes, yes. For last week's Women Wednesday in person. Thank you to Havanas for being great hosts. They were awesome, and the food afterward was also great.
Oh, yeah, I heard you all had a good time. She's still back there dancing.
Yeah. All right, you get us going, Chrissy. We're ready.
Let's do this.
All right, welcome to Women Wednesdays, everyone. We are here at the Railroad Square Craft House at the Railroad Square Art. It's great to see some familiar faces today. This is a hybrid event, so if you're joining us online, make sure you share your comments, and we'll we'll make sure we get it to our lovely guest speaker today and also our host as well. If you have any questions or comments that you want to participate in today's Women Wednesdays. My name is Christy Souders, and I'm one of your Women Wednesdays hosts. I lead retail division for WF Socks, and I'm the owner of Kitschy Wearable Art, and our store is located right here in Railroad Square Art District. We have a lot of women-owned businesses right here in the Art District and around the SoMo area, so make sure you frequent those and support local. Without further ado, I'm going to send things over to Ms. Barbara Westcott, our founder.
Yeah, well, hello, everybody. Let's start it up for me. Hi, everybody. My name's Barbara Westcott, and I'm the founder of Women Wednesdays, and I'm so grateful for everybody that has come here today. And I know I see some familiar faces, but I also see some new faces. So I'm just going to recap what is Women Wednesdays. And Women Wednesdays is about building a collaborative community of women who help each other succeed. And we have a variety of programs, whether it's our speaker series, co-working at Domi Station, all different ways, creating your own networking event, writing series. I mean, it's all about creating opportunities for women to go further by helping each other do so. So if you want to become a member of Women Wednesdays, we'd be thrilled. You just go to www.womenwednesdays.com. We'd love to have you join us as a member. And I'll also just mention, since Chrissy talked about women-owned businesses, we have a campaign going called Women Doing Business to highlight women-owned businesses in our community. So check that out as well. If you want signage, it's free. Just let us know and we'll make sure you have that. So let me hand it over to Mara.
Hello again. I'm Tamara Smith. So let's see, how many hats do I wear? Many. So by day, I'm the regional director of partnerships for an awesome organization called One More Child. We help trafficked children, foster children, single moms and their families, hungry children, children all over the world, and we work on an overall effort of family support. So we have many different ways. We have a local campus right here in Tallahassee. We have campuses all over Florida and are growing throughout the world. So if you would like to partner with us, we have great opportunities to do that, whether it's backpack meals for students on weekends, or it's food boxes for families, or it's contributing to our safe homes throughout the state. You can find out more at onemorechild.org, or you can just come and talk to me at any time. I love talking about our vision for supporting children and families that are in need. All right. But I'm also a part of Women Wednesdays as one of the co-hosts, and I am looking forward to talking with our guest today. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to one of our Women Wednesdays members. One, it's Black History Month, so woohoo! All right. It's my 6-year-old's first time realizing that it's Black History Month, and it has been really memorable, so I love that. But one of our Women Wednesdays members did my hair. She owns the braiding element here in town. And it's a braid bar. It's lovely. The service was one-on-one in a room all by herself, so very safe, very comfortable. And she did a great job. So thank you to Cynthia, one of our Women Wednesdays members. And without any further ado, we are going to talk with the most energetic, enthusiastic leaders of our community, Paula DeBoles-Johnson.
Thank you.
Now, I could run off all of her many accolades. You know, she's the founder and executive director of the Capital City Youth Development Corporation. She's also a city commission candidate.
Yeah.
And we know we're going to hear so much about her. I know all of us here are excited to hear from her, as many of you are out there as well. So without further ado, Paula, take it away.
Thank you. The first thing I'm going to do is get off this chair because it's an accident waiting to happen. So, thank you all so much for having me on the show. Can I get you all to please give this Trinity a warm round of applause? Barbara, I so appreciate the opportunities that all of you ladies give us to have a voice out in the community. All of you joining us here today, thank you so much. I am Paula DeBoles-Johnson. I'm a proud mother. I have 2 daughters out in the audience. You will see them walking around. Zanani wave. That's my youngest, Zanani Johnson, and my oldest in the blue shirt is Dr. Zamoria Johnson. I also have our events coordinator, which I consider my sister, Anitra Thomas in the back, also supporting our work. I see some familiar faces, and I also see one of the founders of, 25 Women You Need to Know in Club 25, Miss Pam Ridley. Everybody knows Pam, right? So just a little bit about me. I am running for your next county commission, District 5. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am an advocate, I'm a community member, I'm a daughter, but I also work for Leon County government. You want me to stay here? I'm gonna move. You all know I walk, right? I walk and talk. I cannot stay still. It's a thing. But I work for Leon County government. I'm their employee engagement and performance manager during the day. I provide the training and professional development for our 800 plus member team, having them to be the best versions of themselves that they can be. But I also have a small nonprofit in the city. We're over 20 years old, Capital City Youth Development Corporation. We inspire young people to also be the best versions of themselves. In my spare time, I do things like service. I sit on a number of boards, and I'm hoping that you all will find some time to go out and check us out at www.imwithpaula.com. I'm supposed to do that 4 or 5 times, right? But students so that they can go to college. So we just do a little bit of work. All of the Johnsons are about service, and that's what I want to do next. I want to step up my service game by serving as your next county commission. Is it all right if I share my vision with you all for a little bit? Just a little bit? Okay, and I told you all, we need to talk. It needs to be interactive, okay? All righty. Go ahead and advance the slide. And I want to thank one of our comms people, that is my daughter, Zanani. She's a phenom at developing content. She is also the founder of Groundbreaking Strategies. That is her business. And she is doing this work for her mother gratis. Thank you, baby. Thank you so very much. I cannot afford her.
But it was, the stuff you put together is beautiful.
See, it's all her. It's from her brain.
It's great.
I'm not that creative, people. I can write you a firm contract, training plan, and training, but none of this stuff can't do that.
That's
all
why
her
it's team.
vision.
It's all team.
Okay. So if you're looking at the slide, you will see my family. Who am I? I've just told you a little bit about who I am, but I've also shared a little bit about my family. You see the girls here. I'm going to brag on them a little bit because I think it's important. When you're doing this work, when you decide to step up and open yourself up to the public that goes through and scrutinizes everything that you do, your family, you have to make sure that you have your family behind you. That is my beautiful family. My husband, David Johnson, we met at FAMU back in the 80s, right? I saw him, he was super cute, so I married him, right? So David's prior service, he was company commander here at our armory here, but David served many years in the military. He's in the financial services industry, a lot of banking and insurance, and he's with New York Life now. And my girls, Dr. Zamoria Johnson, works at TMH. She's one of the pharmacists there, a clinical pharmacist. And Zanani is actually a gubernatorial fellow at, the governor's office. And she's housed at the Florida Lottery. Do you say housed? Her placement is at the Florida Lottery. So she's working on her master's at FSU. So I'm very proud of my family. And when they're both products of public schools right here in Leon County. So we asked them, look, you all do your part by going to school, getting good grades, doing your part, and we'll take care of the rest. They went to school, got educated, graduated with zero debt, and then they came back and continued to do good in the community. So we're super proud of them. And when I told them that I wanted to do this, they were like, Mom, you've been talking about it for years, go for it. And that's what you need, a champion, right? But you need your family right here to shore you up, right? Because things get hard. We've been at this for about 2 months, and it's been interesting. And that's where I'm going to let that stay right there. We're going to stop right there. We're going to talk about that stuff a little later. Very interesting. That's my new word.
Yeah.
Because it's not good or bad, right? It's just interesting. Can we advance the slide? So that's me. You all read this slimmer version of me? You see it now? Yeah. So who is Paula? What do I do? Why do I want to do this? Tallahassee is my home. So funny story, I was supposed to go to LeadHERship, scholarship, full ride. My cousin and I were supposed to be roommates. But as my father is driving me on the interstate, I'm like, Dad, you're going the wrong way. And he's like, well, I have something to tell you. Your mother and I feel like you need a little bit more culture, so you're going to FAMU. Oh. And I said, who? He said, FAMU. And I was like, but Amanda's waiting on me. This is my cousin. I'm her roommate. What are we supposed to do? Well, I got to the campus and I was just not prepared for that many young people from different places and a lot of folks who look just like me. Because in my schools, it was predominantly white. You know, there was a handful of Black students. So our experience was very different. And then I go to this oasis, which is FAMU. And I'm like, Dad, you're gonna have to take me home. This is not gonna work, right? But guess what? He says, sweetie, do the first semester. If you don't like it, I'll pack you right back up, take you to LeadHERship. We don't even have to discuss it anymore. So you see where I am, right? So apparently I love FAMU, right? And as I said, I found my partner at FAMU. So FAMU grew me. FAMU also helped to solidify in my mind that I could be and do whatever it was that I wanted to do. So my mother was a strong woman, a disciplinarian to the T, but she was a very strong woman. And she said, you have two choices. You can go and educate yourself, go off to college, or you can go to the military. Now, I'm one of those ones that I don't like people screaming at me and making me get up early in the morning to do anything, right? Some people don't have that ministry. That's not where they live. I'm one of those people, right? I appreciate those who serve. So those who sacrifice themselves for me, I owe a debt of gratitude. I'm not that person for you. I want to serve you in another way, right? So we talk about service. And FAM always told us we knew that academics was our priority, right? But they also taught us that you have to give back. And I know the importance of that because people always gave back to me. They've always poured into my life. Don't know why, but they saw something of value in me. So it's important that I do the same thing because that was the goal, right? We pour into you, you go back and help someone else. So that is what our entire family has been about. Hey, Commissioner, you all please give a huge round of applause to Commissioner Richardson. It's always a pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you for joining us. So my service, I want to extend beyond the organizations that I've been a part of, right? I want to step up and allow those that want to be heard, those that want to be part of the solutions, those that want to help us solve some of the issues that we have in this county. That's what I want to do. I need a bigger platform so that I can go and listen to these people and together we can affect change. So as I'm out there talking to people all the time and people tell me a lot of different things, I don't know why, but people will just unload. So, hey, let me tell you about brrr. And they just go down and listen. I'm like, yeah, right. Write that down. Yeah, okay, write that down too. And I think it's because people know when you're genuine about trying to help them. I think they know when you're genuinely listening and you're trying to do things to help the community. I think that's why they kind of put all of this out there for me, right? So I have a responsibility once someone tells me something. So if you're hungry, As a community member, as a decent person, what should I do for the hungry person? Feed them. And people are like, Paula, problems are way more complex. They're not. We make them complex. We make them more difficult than they need to be. If someone needs something, we need to connect them with whatever agency can give it to them, right? But that agency needs what? Money. And they need people power. So imagine a Tallahassee where all of its community members that were able to volunteer just 2 hours a week. Every able-bodied Leon County citizen, 2 hours a week, somewhere, with anything that you're passionate about, right? People who know me know I'm passionate about women and children. You say, Paula, can you? And you say a woman or a child, I'm your girl, right? I'm there. I'm giving you my money, I'm giving you my time. And I'm bringing some people along to help, right? That's me. And that is the spirit we need to take with everything that's happening in this city. So we see a lot of public outcry about a lot of things going on. But I don't want you all to respond to this, right? Just think about it. When you tell people that work for you, because it's called public servant, right? That means you elect people who are supposed to do what you say, right? Is that the way it's supposed to work? And then when you say, I don't like that you did that, and you're still not being heard, what is your response, right? You're not going to answer, you're just going to think about it, right? You find other ways to get what you need done. You find other ways to make your voice be heard, right? And so people say, well, are you angry with somebody? I'm not mad at anybody. It's a lot of people that are in these different races that I'm friends with. I have a lot of respect for them. I just think I can do the job better. So what I'm just, see that part. And this is the deal. It makes a difference when you have an advocate at the table. Things change when you have a person that thinks about people first. And that is who I am at the core of everything I do. So Chrissy, thank you, Pam. So we're here to talk a little bit more about leadership, right? What does leadership mean to you all? Anybody? Throw out a few words for me.
Going first.
Going first. Leaders go first, right? Anybody else?
Hard work.
Hard work. You got to be, and sacrifice. Example, right? I heard
Inspiration.
Oh, are you calling me in this one? Because I will take that.
Good listener.
But yes, hey, leaders are inspirational. They listen, they're inspirational and they listen, right?
Problem solve.
And we problem solve. And guess what? I am not arrogant enough to believe that I have all the answers. And I think sometimes we get trapped in that. You must know. You can't know everything. Even the best scholars don't. But what you do is get smart people with lived experience to come to the table. And you all sit down as people, humans. And that's where we need to start, because we're really good at separating ourselves. We separate ourselves by zip code, race, sex, gender, hey, political party, right? This is a nonpartisan race, okay? But if we stop with these labels, imagine how much more we could get accomplished, right? I'm one of those ones, I don't care who comes to the table, as long as you're coming to be about business and you're solutions oriented. And we have to hold each other accountable, because some people are here to just do this. They don't really want solutions. They like to stir pot, right? You don't have to acknowledge it, but you know it's true, right? But if we're about the business of making this city one in which we can all be proud of, one in which all of us can grow and thrive, again, serving, spending our money with small businesses, mentoring these young people so they don't feel like they're alone. And then maybe we can get to the bottom of some of these issues with crime in our community, right? I look at this space here as a small business. Everybody knows I love to sing. That's about it for the arts for me, right? I can't paint. I can't draw. I tried making pottery. That did not work out well. And then, what is it? They put it in the thing, the kiln, is that it? So that's a long story. We're not going to tell that, but I'm not invited back to that place anymore. But all of us make, yeah, it's a whole story. And insurance, it's a thing, girl. I told you I'm passing it wrong. Right?
You have to tell us the story.
I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
It might show up in one of my other talks because it is hilarious. And no one was hurt.
Oh, okay.
Disclaimer.
No one was hurt badly. Let's say that. Anyway,
Okay.
we need our small businesses to grow, right? Because they're the backbone of our economy, right? But if we're not supporting them the way that we need to, and this is one of the things I want to do. I want to shout out Leon County, not just because they're my employer, and they're a great employer, but they did an awesome job of making sure that those resources from the feds, when COVID hit, when they sent that money out, and they did a bang up job compared to some of these other places that I've read about, right? But guess what? We still had businesses close their doors, right? And why? A lot of them didn't have the necessary paperwork. They didn't have their paperwork in order. And when I spend time with these amazing, genius young people, I mean, they always have these great ideas. And I'm like, how do you even think about that? Imagine those that want to be entrepreneurs. What would happen if we invested on the front end with these young people and started teaching them about coding and how to open up a small business? All the time and energy that we put into making sure small businesses got that federal money. What happens if we put those kind of resources in place now? Not waiting for an emergency, but if that was a consistent thing. People power, money, 24-hour hotlines, people calling you, look, we have money available, you want some? What if we did that with our young people? And you don't have to be 18. Now, you might have to have your parents' permission to start a business, right? And imagine what we could have them do just right now if we went ahead and paid it forward. Instead of being reactive, we're proactive in helping them. It's the same thing with solving crime in this community. There are a lot of children who need mentors. It's a lot of kids that's right there on the cusp. And all they need is one caring adult. And I know what that's like because I was that one kid. It could take one little thing to kind of push me up to the left. But number one, I was terrified of my mother, right? Right? She was like, okay, you have a choice, but I'm here, right? But I had other people that said, you know what? Why are you doing dumb things? You're smart, you're talented. You can be something if you make a decision. And so what? Personal responsibility, the thing that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but you have a choice. Now, I do believe those who do wrong ought to be consequenced, right? But I do think it makes sense to take a look into what got them there so that we can put pieces in place, wrap around services to ensure that it doesn't happen again. They have all of the resources they need so that they too can be contributing members of this society, right? Because what do we want? It's three things all of us want, right? All of us want to feel safe in our homes, right? Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. All of us want to be seen and heard, right? Yeah. And all of us want an opportunity to invest something in this community, to be able to take care of ourselves and our families. And if we can all get behind those three things, I think this city can be one that we can all be proud of. So I'm gonna go, and that's one of my role models, Miss Shirley Chisholm. No, that is not me. Okay. So leadership, and I'm gonna get a little closer to you for a minute. Oh yeah. This is easy. Hey, it's here now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. She's brilliant, you all.
Yes, she is.
Our techno wizard. I love it. So let's talk about how to advance your leadership. And it's easy, and we try to break it down to make it simple. Find your passion, find a partner, and get to work. right? I told you the things that I'm passionate about. So how about you? Anitra, what are you passionate about?
Service and growing individuals into their best selves.
She's a trainer, y'all, so that kind of fits, right? So thank you for that. How about you, Z? I think I know, but oh, I'm sorry. Leadership, what are you passionate about?
I'll take what Miss Anitra said, be our best selves and find their purpose.
There you go. How about you? Yes, you.
Developing a culture within organizations that the employees, staff, and the leadership work together and create a win-win situation where people want to go to work and they are supported with their goals so they can support the company's goals.
What do you do?
That's what I do.
Yeah, but what is the title of what you do? I know that's what you do.
That's what I do.
She's like, this is, and I see it, and she's passionate about it.
Well, I've been doing it about 10 years under plaintiff, and I just, since January 15, moved into my own business.
Oh, wow.
And what's the name of your business?
Joy with her consulting and coaching.
All right, and I can see that all over you.
And
We're gonna talk after this, make sure I get your card. I like everything she said.
I do have to leave 10 minutes.
We'll leave your card on the table.
I got your.
Okay, I'll have them find you. Miss Pam, how about you? I think I know, but surprise me.
I'm very passionate about women and girls, just like you.
Mhm, mhm.
And growing up in a huge household of 9 kids, you were expected to do.
There you go. 9?
You give. Yes, 9, my family.
Wow, that's impressive.
There's work to be done, you do it.
Right, make no excuses. You just, hey, roll up your sleeves and get to work, right? I love that.
I want to know what Robin is passionate about. What's
Mm.
my Robin?
Wrapping my brain all I can think of those people. And since I moved to Tallahassee from another country, diversity, celebrating diversity, because that's not taught down here like it was at home. And so I'm kind of passionate about that.
What's home for you?
Yeah.
Canada. Oh, Canada. All right.
It's not
And
diversity,
people is a good thing. That's a good thing to be passionate about, right? Okay, I love
It
it.
shows, because if you work with Robin, you'll find it out.
But you know, I love her energy. She just came in doing a little shimmy, and I love that. And I think I know yours as well.
I think I'm for like I think I'm super passionate about women and girls, but I think I'm really passionate about like fairness and equity. That's kind of like what we do.
As we all should be.
Yeah, I want to be fair.
Yeah, ask both of you all as well.
Sure. Well, I'm passionate about education, empowerment, and connection. Like, that's my common thread through all the different things that I do. It's often been on the behalf of children and families and women in general. But I will also add that I'm passionate about awareness of reproductive health issues, and that's something that people also know.
I love that, and we need to have some conversations. How about you, Chrissy?
I'm passionate about innovation
Ooh.
and creating new ideas and new things every day and making it accessible to and educating younger people to know that there's different avenues they can take and to explore the creativity.
I love that.
And it's really, people should really get to know, they'll get to know more about everything. Everything really is doing innovative things in this community that are highly scalable.
And just kitschy arts alone. And I told you, I'm not an artist, but that was just cool to me. I wouldn't think of something like that, but that's part of why you make sure that you connect with other people. We spend so much time with our tribe, right? Because we're comfortable there, right? So what would happen if we made sure that we were intentional in spending an hour just outside of our comfort zone and just going out somewhere at a community event, and then make sure you walk away with the phone numbers or names of 5 people. 5 people that don't look like you, that don't come from your same zip code, but just 5 random people so that you can have coffee, conversation, find out about the things that they're interested in, right? Because you can't be angry or refuse to help a person that you know. It's easy to be upset about the folks you don't know and the folks you never met, right? You can ignore them. You don't really have to do much with that, right? But if it's somebody you know, it's like, did you hear about such and such? Well, this happened. We're trying to do something to help. The first thing you're gonna do, I know her. I met her at where here. Let's figure out what we can do to help. That's the spirit we need everywhere, not just in Tallahassee. We need this across the doggone United States. That's the whole thing.
And can I throw something in there?
You can throw anything you
No, I'm
want
just
in.
thinking, like, part of that is feeling empowered. And like, you can really be afraid. I was so terrified when I started with Women Wednesdays or just trying to be an entrepreneur. Just absolutely terrified. And sometimes I still am.
Why were you terrified though?
I was terrified to speak in public. I didn't think my ideas were good enough. You know, things like that.
See, and that's one thing about us. You will never, and Commissioner, you back me up on this. You're the lone man in the room, but we got your back. Men don't have those thoughts. Their thing is, I'm thinking it, I'm doing it. Is that, would you say that's mostly true? Now, I'm not saying they're not human. They don't have doubts, but they're never going to sit back and say, you know what? I don't think my idea is valid. That's a woman thing, and I'm trying to figure out where we pick that notion up at. I know the world gives it to us, but we have to get it somewhere when we're small. And see, my mother never did that. She was like, you will do whatever you want to do.
So I want
Because
to
you can.
I want to share some comments from our virtual audience.
Ooh, yes.
So Princess Sheely, she's watching. She says, my passion is to reconstruct my ability, my skills, and where I lack to build successful foundation for my children and others. And then to Sharon says, her passion is, I'm passionate about women and teens impacted by domestic violence.
So let me do this. I'm glad, thank you all for sharing that, okay? You didn't seem like you have a problem ever speaking in public.
I know.
You're terrified.
And imagine, I used to.
Every Women Wednesday, she's like, I don't want to open.
Yeah. And she does a fantastic job every
Yeah, she
time.
does, she
right?
does.
Every time. And your ideas are good. Hey, everything you do is amazing. So I want to validate you right now, okay? But look at what you built. And see, fear, false evidence of being real, that will always stop you in your tracks if you let it. You have to be bold enough to kind of kick the door in and walk past that fear. Because what's the worst that could happen? You could die, right? No. You might fail. But 9 times out of 10, so what? It's a 50-50 chance. You might actually be exceptional.
Well, and Sheryl Sandberg said something, what would you do if you weren't afraid? You know, but then I adapted it to, what would I do if I was afraid, but I did it anyway?
But you did it anyway.
Yeah.
You got a 50-50 chance of being successful. And this is the deal, guys. I'm the queen of falling, picking yourself up, and trying again, right? But when you walk beyond that fear, you give your children, you give your girlfriends, you give other people in the community that same bravery to step up, right? I'm gonna, my oldest daughter here, she said something I don't even think she realized. She always drops these pearls, and I'm just like, I did that. I raised that amazing person. But then I have to give her dad and grandparents some credit too. Yeah. But I think it's mostly me, right? But she's like, she says, Mom, I am so proud of you. Look at what we're doing right now. Who would have thought that you talked about it, but look at us. I was like, but think of what she was saying. Mom, you said you wanted to do it. You didn't let anything stop you. Because trust me, in all of this, I told you all, we've been at it for 2 months. And I have seen some behaviors that I never thought I'd see. I've heard people say things to me, and I'm like, wow, I thought you were a fan and a friend. I didn't realize how wrong I was. But now I know who you are. So you have to be brave enough to say, I don't care what happens. This is my passion. This is what I'm going to do. come heck or high water, I'm gonna push through. And my hope for you is that you'll be wildly successful, right? But now we know life. Sometimes things happen. But guess what? You pick yourself up and try again. One time shouldn't stop you guys. That, the odds alone should say, you should at least try once more, right? Because you never know who's watching you. They may say, you know what, she did it. If she's successful, I know I can do it, right?
Well, and I'm thinking, sorry, but again, but I'm thinking too, like, because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, that's one of the reasons I was so glad that you want to come on, talk about LeadHERship. You really are raising the bar for women. It takes, it takes a lot of courage for women to step up and put yourself out there. And you may be successful. It may not be your time. I mean,
50-50, right?
Things you'll find out. But it will be an incredible learning experience, and you'll just be at another place. You'll inspire others. I mean, there's so many upsides. But I'm so proud of you for doing it. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rush. I love that.
We're supposed to be having an interactive experience, so jump in, all of you. And that's the other part. Some of the younger people in my life, they're like, I'm so proud of you, Miss Paula. I hope you win. Is it a popularity contest? Because if it is, you're not going to win. But I'm wishing you good luck. And I'm like, so kids think politics is a popular, well, it kind of maybe sort of is. So you're listening, but to the point is the fact that they see me. And they're like, you know what? Maybe I can do this too, right? And you can. Look at our vice president. Guys, this is not my last stop, no matter what. Representation matters. And this is my thing. I have 2 adult daughters that are grown, right? But it really wasn't just David and I and our family. It was other people in the community that came right alongside and said, you know what? I see what you're doing. I'll tell your mom, tell your dad, or I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Or what can I do for you, right? We really had that village. And look at where they are. And they pour into other people. That's all they do. They serve everywhere. Anitra and her 2 daughters, everywhere you go, you can see one of them showing up. They're helping somebody do something. They're servant leaders. And how do people learn to help one another? By watching parents, by watching grandparents and friends. If your circle is all about service and leadership, guess what those young people are going to be about? Service and leadership. Every so often, one of them goes off the track, but it's already in them. They'll come back. They will come back. Let's advance the slide. Let's see what's left anyway. How am I doing on time?
You're doing okay on time.
Okay.
You have a few minutes left.
All righty. Anybody have questions while we're moving through this?
You keep saying that you're surprised at what people are saying to you when you report for your friends. I mean, I'm sure you anticipated that.
I did. I had a lot of, so first of all, let me tell you all just a little bit more to kind of give you a framework. This isn't something that I decided to do, and the commissioner knows. I shared with him. He has been a great family friend and supporter and brain trust, right, for how this whole political thing works. And I've been thinking about this since my children were in middle school and elementary school. And the first time I decided to run, we had a family crisis where one of my daughters she got sick just out of the blue. We didn't know where it came from. It took about a year for them to figure out a diagnosis. She's fine now, she's great, but you know what happens when your family is ill or there's an emergency. You stop what you're doing and what you want to do, and you take care of your family. Family over everything. That's our mantra, right? So those political aspirations I had then, they went out the window. The second time, a friend of mine actually jumped in the race. They had no idea I was considering. But to me, it didn't make sense to run against a person I knew would do a great job, right? You got to be smart about these things, right? So this time, and I consider Kristen a personal friend. I like Kristen. I think she's very smart and she's thoughtful in making decisions. So when she's amazing. And I did have a conversation with her about all this. right? So when she said she wasn't running, I was like, okay, boom, it's time, right? I talked to my family. We were already talking. It's like, look, guys, I'm thinking about some other things. So this is the absolute right time. And like I shared, my family was like, yes, it's your time. Do it. You sacrifice for us and everybody else. In the time you live out your dream. So, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I did. And I told a few trusted friends because I wanted them to pray with me and go into agreement with me, right? And these are the three things that these people that I really love and respect. And they know me and they know my heart, Pam. And they all said the same thing, but in different ways. They said, people that you thought were your friends are not your friends, or they won't be after this race. People that you thought would support you will not. And you can't let that hurt you or surprise you, and guard your heart. We know you. And no matter what happens, you can't let this process change the loving, compassionate person that you are. All of them said the exact same thing in different ways. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm going to war or something, right? And in a way it is, because as soon as I announced, and we didn't say anything because we had a plan. I told you the team had a rollout plan for me, right? And then one of the news people saw it and threw it out in the newspaper. And we were like, but that's what they do, right? So as soon as that went out, I started getting calls. Well, Paula, you think you should really do this? I mean, what you experience? I mean, what's your experience? I said, are you kidding me? Look at the people we've elected over the years. I have a master's degree, dozens of certifications. I've worked with health, managing multi-million-dollar budgets, been around the country teaching people how to do things. What do you mean experience?
It's called transferable skills.
I said, are you serious? And I was, because it was someone that was a friend, that was the first one. I was like, are you kidding me? But then people that I'm not as closely aligned with feel empowered to say whatever they like. And some of it I'm not going to say because, out of respect for Barbara's vision, right? But if you all want to ask me, I'll tell you personally what they said, right? But people forewarned me, and like I said, Commissioner Richardson, he was like, Paula, you can do this, but it's going to be tough. You're going to have to work. He gave me some good, I think you know me to be a worker, sir, right? I looked at the lessons of a lot of great people, but I don't think I'll be surprised anymore. I think these first 2 months kind of shored me up. See what's coming.
And those are called naysayers. There's a lot of naysayers, and so like for you, it happens to be for running for office. But if you become an entrepreneur and you have an idea, there's a lot of different things in life. I don't know why people do it, but they naysay, and you have to really be careful of naysayers. You want to say something?
Mm-hmm.
I was to piggyback on that. I think we tend to find that a lot, especially with women who want to step out in leadership and entrepreneurship. You have those that have those naysayers that are just like, "Are you sure that's what you want to do? Are you sure you're going to be able to do that? But you're a mother, or you're a single mother, or how are you going to be able to juggle that in the time and the commitments that you?" And you want to take it as them trying to be helpful, but they're not. They're not, and you have to really use that as the catalyst to push your mental to be able to say, despite what others say, I'm going to move forward. Despite the doubts that others have, I'm going to continue to move forward. And that's all a part of standing in that leadership, and so that we can stand and be better leaders for ourselves.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. And it's because you're a mother, you can do all those things. Do you all know what we have to do? Of course you do, right?
But I have a question, and this is for everyone as well. How do you overcome that little seed of doubt? Because you may have connected with the right people, you believe in yourself, you have your affirmations, you have your team, you're ready to go, and then there's just one little ounce, one little seed of doubt. How do you move past that and still do it afraid?
You know what? You just do. And let me tell you, I have doubts about a lot of things. That doesn't stop me from doing it. You have to make a decision. my end goal is what I'm looking at. All the minutia and stuff around me and the naysayers, paying them no attention. Now I hear you, because some of the things that people are saying, it's letting you know what other people that may not be brave enough to say those things to you. You know now what they might be thinking, and you can develop a response if you need to, because it'll bubble up again, right? So just like you're a mother, you're a single mother, you can't do that with time. Well, I absolutely know about time management. I'm a mother. I've been working doing this. I volunteer doing this. Then I know how to manage time and a budget. Next, right?
But you just said something super duper important, and that is like, because what she said about, she doesn't let that all get in the way. Paula has forward motion. And I mean, and that's what really helps you in life, I think, is just like, no, I'm going to plow through, I'm going to keep going. Because then you learn along the way.
You do.
And that's what makes things happen. And I think sometimes as a society, we think we know what a particular leader is going to look like, act like. But any successful team, I always talk about this, but any successful team has people with different skill sets and
Absolutely.
personalities and all kinds of different things, and bring really incredible things to the table. So I hope people open their mind to, what really is effective and, inspiring, things, a city to be great.
There you go. And let's be clear, you all. Things sometimes go horribly wrong, but there's a lesson in that too. At least you know what never to do again, right? So you have to make a decision that nothing will stop you from achieving your goal. And that's the way I've always been the person that said you will never, or you can't, or you won't, or you're just like, and it'll never happen for you. And I take pleasure in proving them wrong. Is that a bad thing?
That's a great thing. I love it.
I'm like, So, and for me, again, it's about the people. It's my passion. And again, like I said earlier, if you see that people need something or want something, it is our responsibility as humans to help. That's it for me. So, Paula, the grand scheme, you want this for yourself. I want this for all of us. I believe that I can bring a different perspective to Leon County government. I just do. And again, it's not an ego thing. It's an experience thing. It's a heart thing. This is what I want to do. I have a goal. I have a grand plan, right? It might scare a few people, but it's okay. We're going to be okay, right? I just need you all to ride with me. Ride the way. Right? Y'all ain't scared, right? Just, hey, come with me.
I want to be conscientious of people's time, so we're going to be wrapping up here. If you want to just give us one final thought and kind of take us through this slide here.
I want to take you through the last ones. What I'm going to ask you all to do is to please check out our website, www.I'mWithPaula. Are you guys with Paula? Yeah. Thank you. At least for the purposes of this program. I appreciate you. If you go to our website and check out our platform items, what I want you all to know is that Paula didn't come up with these things. The community did. I spent a lot of time in the community over the last 2 years before launching this campaign, asking people what they wanted, what they needed. So you will see our platform items kind of grow as this process goes on. So you will check out our vision. You can find out a little bit more about me and what we're doing. And if you constantly kind of go out there and just check in, you'll see what we're doing to add to our platform. You can also find out how you can donate to our cause, right? If you could go, I would love to highlight the team. So these are some of our team members. We've got Marsha, you see Anitra over there. Kat Keen, next slide. We have Cyrus, Audrey, Faith. Next up, we have another Faith, and we have Christy and Malik. One more, and Zanani, whom you just met. Kiara, Ashley, and Zamoria, who you've met. There are a lot of other volunteers that you will see later. People get in with our campaign where they fit in. All of us work, all of us volunteer. Many of us have families. So again, I've mentioned this is a grassroots campaign, right? Campaigns cost money, right? So all of us need to keep our jobs, but at the same time, we need to raise money for this. I've taken a pledge to be very, very careful about who I accept money from. We've seen how much trouble that gets people in, right? So we're trying to be conscientious and we're asking for your help. So if you'd like to donate anything, please visit the website. If you want to volunteer, come on, we'd love to have you. There's plenty of work to be done, plenty. And
can I just, I keep throwing things in. So women tend to have a harder time asking for money, and they tend to get less money than their male counterparts. So it's something to really be mindful of, that, women really,
we do.
need financial support to run for office.
And I have to tell you, I've done this training. I've done the Women Can Run training, Emily's List training, Ruth's List. I've done all the trainings because people know me. I like to learn a lot because that's what I do for a living. I train other people, right? So at every time we had to practice that, I felt like it was begging. I'm like, people know I'm running for office. If they believe in my vision, they're gonna give me money, right? And they're like, oh, no, you need to ask for money and you need to ask for this amount. And so I've worked hard on that, but you're absolutely right. They said the exact thing in every single solitary training. But this is what I know. We will pay for things that are important to us. And if you all are looking for a different kind of leader that will hear you, then you'll invest in me. This will be our vision. This won't be just Paula's vision. So I am asking for your support, and I think that's it for me. It's information about how you can find us on the website. I thank you, Barbara, for the opportunity. Ladies, you are amazing. Thank you all for your time, and thank you all. And for the TV people, hey, y'all. Thank you.
Let me doing, and she'll be here next week, and we'll be right back here at Railroad Square Craft House, which I want to close with thanking Justine Spells. If you could come up, Susan.
Thank you so much.
So everybody, thank you so much. So look, Women Wednesdays operates on pennies, and to have someone like Justine who makes this space available, and she always makes this available to Women's Wednesdays, for us to do what we're doing. So I just want to, I don't know if there's anything you want to say, but we're just so grateful to you.
No pressure now. No, thank you all for coming out here. We greatly appreciate the support that Women's Wednesdays has given us since day one when we were in the yard, actually, back then. So you guys have been here for us. So yes, the answer is always yes for you. And
She does. She always says yes. We really
she's still
appreciate
typing. I'm like, yes. What do you need? That's what it is. And so if you guys ever need to host any events, just think about us. We have a lot of space, especially with people being very cautious about COVID still. We have this outdoor space that makes it a lot easier. And as the weather is starting to get better, it's a great place to have an event.
Yeah, and you have, we're sort of inside, but you have these big doors open and the fresh air coming in, so it's a nice, airy place to be to have an event. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So anyway, we're gonna look. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for coming.
Make sure you grab something to eat if you haven't already and support